my God. Oh my God. Literally, I'm setting up the stream here and it's a pen. Ladies and gentlemen, it literally started and then here's a pen. Oh, it's a VAR check. VAR check here. What's up, y'all, by the way? It's been a minute. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I need to see the replay. I was setting up the stream and then I just saw Killian go down. I need to take a look. Johnny, let me take a look. They're gonna show us the replay, right? Let's see if they're gonna. It's already done? The review's already done? No, they're still waiting. Deschamps looking anxiously here. They are still waiting. I believe it was Mazraoui that committed the challenge. Check is complete. It is correct. I will have to see the replay, but it is correct. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but let's just see if Dictator Mbappe can bury this and take France. Oh! Penalty saved! Oh, this is... You will never see me sit here talk about how I would prefer the slow run up. Just run up, stand and run up and just slap it. Just pick a corner and just bang it. Oh. Yassine Bono, the career save. First ever career save internationally as the keeper for Morocco. Oh my days. 0-0 here still at the Gillette Stadium in Boston. Dictator Mbappe, he had his chance. He had his chance. You know, like Mbappe is upset and annoyed because it took way too long for that review. But you have to look. It is frustrating, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to do what you got to do. You know, I don't think you're granted any complaint in that sense because the VAR is the VAR. I mean, I understand his frustration, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. All right, hydration break here, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I needed this hydration break because oh my goodness, I'm out of water. Oh man. How y'all been, guys? Let's catch up a little bit. I know it's been a minute, but we're back on the stream. As you can tell, I am slightly just feeling it. But yeah, I just wanted to check in, do a little live and, you know, see what's up with everybody. How y'all been? How's everybody been? Let me know in the chat. Akshay in the chat says, "Sup, John? Excited for this matchups?" Facts. I'm super excited. It should be a great game. Henry, now in the chat, what's going on, my man? He says, "What's up, John? Haven't tuned in for a long time." Well, my man Henry, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't gone live in over what, 2 weeks now? A week? It's been a minute. But yeah, thank you for joining us again, man. Alim says Mbappe with a crying face. Look. At the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do, man. I know the waiting time for that VAR review, of course that'll frustrate anybody because you're sort of like ready to take it. And if it keeps delaying, it kind of knocks you off your rhythm. It kind of knocks you off your focus. But it is what it is. You're going to have to bury it. You're going to have to do it. You can't complain that you lost focus so you couldn't bury it, because then you look like a sore loser. You know what I mean? Richie Nuka says the ref delayed the time, affected Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, it did. It did. But look, let's be real. Like, what are you going to do? You can't complain about it, unfortunately. Dictator Mbappe, he's got to do it. Bro's got to, if he's going to bury it, he's got to bury it. So I'm not a fan of these like slow run-ups. Just run up, smack it. Put some power in that. You know what I mean? Nelly Sion says Mbappe deserves respect for dealing with that reporter like that. Facts. I was gonna make a video about it. I just not had the time. That senator, she is an absolute disgrace for the way she's been handling this whole situation. I always try to give people benefit of the doubt, but she literally had many opportunities to apologize, and that's it. But she clearly feels no apology whatsoever, and she continues to go further and further and dig this hole of this like racist, disgusting energy, and it's awful. It's awful. Look, it did take too long, but Elise. Nice little feint. Oi! Dembele saying, apologizing to his teammates, but that's not a bad attempt, Nice little feint. Ooh, I mean, the idea was great. Could have executed a little bit better. Not enough bend to whip it into that corner. Nelly Zion says, go Team France. Y'all les bleus. Y'all know me since the 2018 World Cup final. I've had a very, very soft spot for France. I have too many nations that I have support, like I show love for. I like France, England, South Korea, USA. I would love to see France win another World Cup. I'm not going to lie to you. But if France does win another World Cup, we're going to have some serious conversations about the standard of the quality of football around the world. Or maybe perhaps talk a little bit about how powerful France are in terms of this dynasty they have going on. That front three of Elise, Dembele, and Mbappe. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? This team is stacked. Viam says New Zealand snub. Nah, man. Shouts out to New Zealand as well. I was actually telling my partner I would love to visit New Zealand. I love nature, and I absolutely love the idea of going fishing in one of those beautiful freshwater river, stream estuaries in New Zealand. I heard it's absolutely gorgeous. I would love to visit New Zealand one day. Be a dream of mine. But there's so many places I want to visit, so much things to do, not enough time. 17-hour flight. Oh! I think it'll be longer from New York. But, hopefully one day I have the time to make that trip. Oh. Brahim Diaz, nice idea. Try to break through the lines there. What was that? I don't know. Look. Say what you will about Rabiot, but he has been like putting in a shift. I'm not the biggest fan of Rabiot, but he's like one of those players where it's like, oh, that's good. That's good pressure here from France. 3v2 situation. Doué! Oh! Desiree Doué! Oh, so close. Oh my days. Wow. Wow. What a save. Oh my goodness. I thought Doué had it there. The 3v2 situation. Oh my goodness. Here's Elise in the corner. Oh, he's saying the ball needs to be on the line. Here's Elise. Nonchalant Elise. Oh. Hey! Super chat from Ash4954. What's going on, Ash? 형님 잘 지내시죠? 저는 메뉴 신고 짓는 거 오피셜 나서 바로 와 오늘 도움이 되고 싶어. 이번 시즌 메뉴가 트래블 가고 봅시다. 화이팅! Ash showing love for Manchester United. And thank you so much, Ash. Appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Katie Marie in the house tonight as well. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a good time, Katie. Thank you so much, Ash, for the super chat. He's basically showing love for Manchester United. And a lot of my Man United family on here have been asking me what's going on with Man United, John. You need to start talking about it. Don't you worry. We're going to be back. We're going to be talking about Man United very, very shortly. I've just been extremely, extremely busy. This World Cup has been beyond my wildest dreams. It has been incredible, and I cannot wait to come back to you guys with the projects that I have lined up, because now I will be doing this full time. It's insane. It's a dream come true. I wish I had maybe started this journey of doing this full time perhaps a little bit before the World Cup, but you know, it is what it is. You know, you can't pick and choose these kinds of situations. You just got to kind of roll with the punches. And for me, it's like I quit, and then the last day of work, and then literally a week or two after, boom, right into the World Cup. So it was kind of chaotic in terms of the transition of it all. But let me be honest with you, I wouldn't have had it any other way. All of this has been nothing short of phenomenal, and the experience that I've had has been sensational. And you know, I've been posting a lot of videos, a lot of brand videos as well. And I do apologize. I wish I had more time to post, you know, just the regular scheduled content. But it has been quite crazy with respect to travel, with respect to, you know, being away from home. And as a content creator who spends most of his time filming content using, you know, my setup here, it has been quite the challenge, to say the least. But, you know, I hope you guys at least have been still enjoying the World Cup, as well as, you know, I guess my journey in the World Cup. But here's France. Lots of feet tangling there. Look, don't get me wrong. This France side is obviously really strong, you know, on all aspects, on paper, what you're observing. But let's also be real. This Morocco side, especially since the last World Cup, they have shown that they have the quality and the potential to battle it out, to duke it out with the big boys and win. They ain't scared. And if you're a Morocco fan, you definitely aren't scared. Obviously, you might be a little bit nervous, but I'm saying they can go band for band with big teams, man. They can go band for band. If you saw anything, if you've seen maybe from the last World Cup or even this World Cup, you know, teams, if you have the mentality and the confidence and the focus, it doesn't matter how many of your players play in Europe's top 5 leagues, or if for whatever reason you might feel like they might not have the quality. They could still dance. They could still tango. Look at Egypt. Do you know how incredible Egypt looked when they were playing against Argentina? I was there in Atlanta. Egypt looked phenomenal. They looked like they were the big boys. Here's Morocco. Cross comes in. Good defending from France. Big up. Yo. Brian in the chat. What's up, Brian? He says, Hyung, how do you feel about Bimboji maybe returning to our national team? I would love to see Paulo Bento back for the national team. I am going to do whatever it takes to be out there in Saudi for the Asian Cup, the AFC Asian Cup. I will be, it's one of my dreams to go support South Korea for the Asian Cup, and it would be incredible if I can make it out there. So if anybody's watching that wants to help me out, you know what I mean? Get me out there. But no, for real though, the idea that I might be able to go out there is insane. But more importantly than anything, it would be so good, from me, at least my perspective, if Paulo Bento did return for South Korea. 100%. We're going to be doing a video about that as well, so don't worry. But let's get back to this game. France versus Morocco, 40 minutes and some change. That's the Gillette Stadium. This World Cup, at least from a South Korean fan's perspective, was absolute horror. It was a nightmare. And for me particularly, I mean, I'll share with you guys my journey, you know, once all of this settles down. But bro, I can't even tell y'all how crazy the chaos had been with respect to trying to set up my watch parties and whatever, from canceled watch parties, from losing venues. It was a nightmare. It was a genuine nightmare. And to make matters worse, I would have at least been okay with me suffering from a nightmare if it was for South Korea at least, you know, advancing and doing well. Because in my head, I was planning if South Korea does make it to the round of 32, which, by the way, on paper, by chance, Shakira's in there. Shakira's there. Shouts out Shakira. Anyways, my point is, if South Korea had an opportunity, had a good chance of making it into the round of 32, they would have played in LA. And I would have loved to be out there in LA. It's literally the biggest Korean population here in the US, or maybe second biggest. I think LA has the biggest Korean population. But anyways, the point is, it would have been an incredible game. It would have, Koreans would have made that game feel like a home game for Korea out there in LA. And I would have been able to pull up to Rio's team, would have had fun. That's a great ball over the top here. Nice little clever plays, you know, teetering on whether or not it's a foul. I mean, it is up for debate, but he does give him a hard push. Hard enough to, I mean, subtly hard is probably the right way to say it. France with 10 shots and 3 on goal. Wow, wow, wow. Morocco so far 0 shots with 0 shots on goal. It has been all Le Bleu today. Swanginho in the chat. What's going on, Swanginho? Needed more Jens Castro minutes. Would have loved to see Isungu and Pixingu in that squad too. Well, Isungu, I think he's got a bit of a ways to go. I don't think he has the. I don't think, as much as I got time for him, I don't think he'll. I don't know. You're talking about Isungu, the former Barcelona youth player Isungu, right? Because if that's the player, I don't know if he'll. Nice little 1-2. Ooh. I don't know if he'll be able to do it to return, but, you know, never say never. I would love to see him back. Pexingal wasn't in the squad. Elise is crazy. I would even, what do you guys think? Let me know. But I would even argue that I think Elise has had I think he's been, but Mbappe's goals have been good too. I mean, somebody told me, like, somebody was like, yo, maybe Elise has had a better World Cup than Mbappe, or, you know, or maybe to phrase that a little bit better. People, I've heard people say that Elise has been the most important player for France rather than Mbappe. I think they're both incredibly important to France. Don't get me wrong. I think they're incredibly influential. Probably the top 2 best players in this team right now. Look at that. The French fans have the dictator. They have the dictator hat that Mbappe had. Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. That France Jacquemus collab shirt. I need one of those. Ooh, Mr. Hotline Bling, Greasy. Almost the end of the first half here at Gillette Stadium. France 0, Morocco 0. Noah in the chat, what's up? He says, big up to John the Legend. Thank you so much, Noah. 5 minutes of stoppage time here. 5 minutes. Oh, that's a great ball. Ooh. The Moroccan keeper has been playing pretty high off his line. Doué, one of my favorite players in this French squad, as well as Elise. That's a great ball. Great football here. And it is Rabiot who plays it too. Dang it, Rabiot. Saliba. Whee! Great idea. Elise. This is France. Oh! But he does get a touch on it. What a shot. Woo! What a shot there for Lucas Digne. Oh my days. Oi! Woo! A wicked strike there. France just absolutely controlling the hell out of this pitch. That's gotta be a foul. That has gotta be a foul from Hakimi. That's crazy. PSG teammates, but oh my days, what was that? That is some crazy screening there from Hakimi. He does. I think it's a foul because he literally. Oh! Look at that back angle. They are both holding each other's shirts. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hakimi almost had his own Phil Jones moment there. Here we go. France again. France has been peppering Morocco. Dembele just can't beat his opponent there. Three minutes of the 5 minutes of stoppage time played here at the Gillette Stadium. France 0, Morocco 0. Here's Hakimi. Brahim Diaz. Swangino says, quote, that has got to be a foul. Basically the quote of the tournament. A lot of people have been complaining about the refereeing during this World Cup. And I think a lot of it is valid in terms of the concern, as well as the rage, really, with respect to how the fans have been feeling. But free kick. I told you, here's Rabiot. I don't know, man. Brahim Diaz. Oh no! You know what? I was about to roast. Rabiot there. Tom on Footy, thank you for the love, my broski. Thank you so much for that. We'll talk a little bit about the refereeing situation a bit later. I do have something I think I do want to address with respect to refereeing and the quality of and the standard of refereeing throughout this entire tournament. But let us focus on this free kick here because Morocco have found themselves in an incredibly good position here, right on the edge of the 18-yard box in front of France. Here's Mike Maignan. He's got two on the wall here. Hakimi goes for outside and absolutely botches that attempt. I'm not really too sure what he was trying to do there. I don't know what he was trying to go with that one. That's it. Full time. Halftime. France 0, Morocco 0 at the Gillette Stadium as Dictator Mbappe runs straight towards the tunnel. Oh my days. Halftime. Benson in the chat says, when does the rigging start? What's going on, Scott Stacco? He says, good evening, John. How we doing? Hope you've been enjoying the World Cup. Are you going to the final? As of now, no, I'm not. But, you know, you never know. If there's one thing I learned about... if there's one thing I learned about... if there's one thing I learned about this World Cup, there's been so many things happening, you know, spontaneously, and whether it be the quarters or the semis or the final, you never know. I might get called up in the middle of nowhere. I might be just resting at home and be like, hey, you got to get on a plane in the next 2 hours and get to so-and-so because you got to go watch a game. That might happen. Who knows? You know, it's been absolutely insane, the level of like spontaneity that's been going on throughout this World Cup. You know, Dr. Steve Ho in the chat, what's going on? He says, come to the semifinals, bro, in Dallas. I would love to visit Dallas. I would love to spend some time in Dallas. I would love it. I want to try some serious Texas barbecue. Because the Asian homies from Japan, they be flying out there and they be taking a bite of that Dallas barbecue and they be going, this shit is banging. They'll start cussing in English and stuff. Scott Asako says that wait for Mbappe's pen was ridiculous. Could have just had the hydration break and then let him take it. It is ridiculous and it is crazy, but you have to remember, them rules is the rules. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you're a pro. They're not gonna let you. They're not gonna. If Mbappe starts complaining, yo, what the hell? Y'all made me wait too long. I lost my control and focus. You think they're gonna let that pass? No, absolutely not. You know what I mean? Venkat in the chat, what's going on, my man? He says, thoughts on the Andre Santos signing. I have a video, which I did film. I've just not had time to edit it. That will be coming for you guys real soon. I know my Man United fans have been DMing me. They have been flooding my DMs like, yo, John, how come you're not talking about Man United? How come you're not talking about what's going on? I've been so busy, y'all. I've been on the road. I've been here. I've been there. I've been everywhere, up, down, left, right. It's been crazy. So I promise y'all, it's all coming for y'all soon. The group stages had us running everywhere. Now, obviously, we're, you know, heading into the quarters and you know, kind of coming towards the finale of we're crescendoing into the finale of the tournament. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. As much as I love what's been going on with respect to this World Cup and my journey as a full-time content creator, I cannot wait for this World Cup. I cannot wait for what comes after the World Cup because I have so much amazing, fun ideas I have in mind. So we will talk about all those things. Don't you worry. APK says, what's up, John? What's going on, APK? Just need to know when we are firing up the pro clubs. We got to set that up. We got a lot of things to do. We got a lot of things to do, my friends. A lot of things to do. Is it me or did it all just get bright all of a sudden? Oh, I see. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna try and crank this up just a little bit. I'm gonna crank this up just a touch. Just a touch. Notice. Okay. I think that's better. That's better. Norbs in the chat says they're always putting France in the middle of the heat. Well, I mean, to be fair, Boston is quite up there in the northern half of the United States. So, you know, given the fact that it is the summer, you know, I think a lot of teams are all kind of, you know, having to deal with the heat. Soccer Post in the chat, what's up, y'all? Need to keep the soccer momentum going post the World Cup? Absolutely. Absolutely. If there's one thing the United States fans have learned is that football is always with us. Football is here all the time in some way, shape, or form. Whether it be the World Cup or the Euros, you know, even the women's football side of things, which also, by the way, is going to be incredible the next year on the Women's World Cup. Swagnostics says more of the Quakes are coming in the future. Absolutely. Absolutely, we got some more Quasar. We're restructuring a little bit of how the Quasar is working, but we are definitely going to be doing more and more Quasar. Don't you worry. Do not worry at all. Let's take a look at the replay here. I finally get to see the penalty incident here. Oh my goodness. What was Nusair Mazraoui thinking? I cannot believe he thought that he was going to get to that ball. That is crazy. Come on, Noose, man. Shub says, hey man, CR7 forever. Oh, Ronnie Dodson says, hey John, have you seen the new stadium stuff for United today? I did. And I can't wait to get back to talking about Manchester United because y'all have been blasting my DMs saying, John, we miss Man United. We miss you talking about Man United. I promise y'all that's coming. Trust me, that's coming back. And I am going to be coming back to y'all with some amazing, fun projects and real, like, just shifting strategy. Shub says, keep going, man. Love your content. Big fan. Thank you, guys. You know what's crazy? I was out in the city today, filming some stuff with Hyundai, and I was walking down the street, just absolutely my mind's a blur. I'm just focusing on walking, right? I'm tired. I feel blessed, but I'm tired, and I'm just walking to the event, right? And then all of a sudden, I see somebody walking past me in my peripheral. He just starts like walking, and he looks at me, and he slows down, and he goes, "Yo, aren't you John?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" His name was Chandler, if I remember that name correctly. And I was like sipping my coffee, and he like caught me off guard. I was like, "Whoa!" But it looked like Chandler was on his lunch break, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I could be wrong, but one of you guys, the Immaculate Collective, his name was Chandler. He stopped me to say that he loved my videos, and he just showed me a little bit of love. So I just want to say thank you to Chandler. Chandler, if you're watching this, Chandler, if you're watching this video, if you're watching this live stream, Chandler, just know I remember your name. Thank you so much for taking your time to stop by, and to show me love. Appreciate you, Chandler. Big up Chandler, man. Big up Chandler. Yeah, I can't, one thing I miss is I can't wait to come back and do more live streams. Because now I'm going to be a full-time creator. Now I can stream whenever the hell I want. I could stream at 8 a.m. I could stream at 12 p.m. I could stream at 3 p.m. I could do whatever I want. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, amor mío, eres while you guys are in the chat, there's currently, I don't know how, this is incredible. There's 202 viewers right now. It's like, look, I ain't no Kai Cenat. My man came back after 9 months of streaming, not streaming, and his stream blew up. I ain't no Kai Cenat, but 202 viewers watching from across the interwebs. There's 15 of y'all on Instagram. And I can't see how many of y'all are tuning in from which other platform, but I just want to say thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. Felix Villa. What's going on, Felix? Felix Villa says, John, I'm looking at Kone and I want him for United. We have a lot of United fans in my DMs who've been worried about the signings and transfers. And Raneem Adam says, are we effed next season? I'm assuming Raneem is a Man United fan, and he's talking about the lack in transfer activity. We're going to talk about all of that. I have a video for y'all coming for y'all real soon, but I will just say this. People have been comparing us to Tottenham Hotspur's transfers, right? People said we got, I don't know what this exactly means, but we got chiefed up. I don't know what that means, but we got chiefed up by Spurs. But let me just say this, yeah? I know you have every right as a United fan to feel a little bit worried if you are, because I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't be worried. You have every cause for concern to feel that worry, but you have to understand. You have to understand that Tottenham Hotspur, for the last 2 seasons, have finished below 15th, below 14th, near the relegation zone. Tottenham Hotspur have finished in the near the relegation zone for 2 seasons in a row. They are one of the traditional top 6 football clubs. And for them to finish twice near the bottom, near the relegation, they needed to do something big. They had a relegation battle. They barely survived this season. They needed to do something big to show their fans that they aren't messing about, or at least try. Do you know what I mean? Spurs are in a different situation than Manchester United. They signed Tonali, who is arguably one of the best DMs in the league for sure, 100%, or CMs or whatever the hell you want to label him as. But they're giving him 275 grand wages. I wouldn't be surprised if Man United put in a bid or did something with Tonali. I wouldn't be surprised. And then he was like, nah, Spurs are giving me 275 bags a week. I'm going to Spurs. I don't give a damn if it's Spurs. Bro, Man United fans were complaining for years on end how awful our transfer strategies have been. We spent so much unnecessary money. We spent so much money that should not have been spent. And finally, we're showing a little bit of that composure and a little bit of that discipline instead of just opening up our wallets. Like me, after I've had an extremely spicy meal, sitting on the toilet, opening up my butthole. No, y'all. We're taking I think we're being a little bit smarter. Look, if it was me, I'm giving them a benefit of the doubt, right? Because they've shown, Ineos in particular, they've shown that at least with the money they've not gotten it perfectly. Don't get me wrong, but you're bringing in somebody like Acuna, like an Mbumo, 2 players that we knew we needed to take 0 risks on the attacking side of things. So we spent money on players that have been proven in the Prem, and we did well. Maybe Mbumo could be doing a little bit better, but still, those are 2 talented players right there. Same could be said for Šeško. I think Šeško has been a phenomenal signing for me, in my view. Lenny Oro, we've done pretty decently so far. I think I'd rather give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I said this last year too. I spent a lot more time I spent a lot more of my efforts doing things other than talking about transfer rumors, because at the end of the day, all it does is just give these journalists, clicks. What am I wasting all my energy for all these rumors? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's just, I'm not a part. I mean, of course, don't get me wrong. I'm still keeping up to the news. And of course, there's so many reputable, serious, proper journalists that I respect that actually report serious things. But apart from that, like all these other rumors, I don't want to waste my energy. Do you know what I mean? And like Tonali is, of course, a good signing. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. But they spent what, 100 M's on Tonali? 100 M's. Look, I think if Man United had 100 M's, we should spend 100 M's on a Tonali. But right now, the situation is that we need to fix our wage structure. We need to fix our money situation. We need to get our money right, y'all. All of the problems that we've had to deal with. And to make matters even more difficult, to make matters even more trickier, we're in the midst of a World Cup. It's not easy to deal with. It's not easy to conduct business during a World Cup. You know what I mean? Spurs had to spend that crazy money to make a statement for their fans who had to deal with 2 years of absolute chaos and nightmare at the club, finishing near the bottom, finishing near the relegation spots. They had to make crazy moves. We're about to get started here. We're about to go back to the World Cup conversation. But I just want to let you guys, oh my goodness, it's 89 degrees and it feels like 98 out there with the sun. But Tonali, is he worth 100 M's? Yeah. Mateus Fernandez, is he worth 85 M's? I'm not too sure. But there are talented players, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Like, here's this report here. Look at this report. United offered West Ham package worth 85 M's for Mateus Fernandez, 70 guaranteed plus 15 in add-ons. United offered wages of close to 170 grand. This morning, United were given the chance to match Spurs' bid of 85, paid entirely up front. Paying 85 M's entirely up front? And why do I want a player that would opt for money going to Spurs rather than a Manchester United, with the greatest respect to Spurs fans, who's in the Champions League? Do you know what I mean? And maybe West Ham, and maybe it was all entirely upon West Ham's decision, but still, Man United weren't going to be pulling triggers like that. So as much as it sounds crazy, if you deep it, it isn't all that too crazy that Manchester United didn't rush to pull the trigger and get pressured into these decisions. Because if we spent 100 M's on Tonali or 85 M's on Mateus Fernandez, you know what the conversation would have been like? People would have been very upset about people be like, why would Manchester United sign a player like Mateus Fernandez for 85 M's and put him on wages over 200 and something grand weekly wages when he's been relegated with Southampton and West Ham back to back? Why would they do that? That would have been the conversation. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more imperative that Manchester United need to take their time being smarter with respect to how they pull the trigger and spend the money. And that's why I said, I think I literally said it's going to take time for this quote unquote transition, this repair to work. All I know is Manchester United still need a marquee signing. I don't know who that is. We need somebody big this season. What's going on, Vispo? Cannibalistic in the chat. What's going on, Cannibalistic? He says, what Korean player would you see playing for United? I would love to see Lee Gang-in play for Man United. I would love to see Kim Min-jae sort of I want to say, resurrect, because it's not like his career is bad, but he has been second fiddle kind of at Bayern Munich, and I would love to see him come to United in that respect. But I would love to see Lee Gang-in develop himself a little bit more physically to be able to to adapt his game to potentially play in the Premier League at some point in his career. He's going to be joining Atletico Madrid, which is going to be insane because it means that I might have to make a quick little cheeky visit to Madrid sometime this season. But yeah. What's going on, HS? What's up, HS? Long time no chat. Hope you've been well. Here's France doing that thing that they've been doing. Hitting that ball into the corner, pushing the line very high up. Asian Kid 0333 says, is Bruno the best midfielder? Is water wet? Next question. Don't ask me no damn. Bancroft says Garnacho was terrible after he left, made terrible comments about the club and was real disrespectful. I'm glad Man United sold Garnacho. Remember when I told Man United, we're going to have conversations about this for days. Now I got mad time after the World Cup to complain all I want. Y'all can't stop me. I'm going to complain all I want now. Y'all can't stop me. I'm unleashed now. I'm unleashed. Y'all got the full vibes of the John. Shari says, John, do you think Garnacho deserves a second chance at United? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Y'all crazy. Yo, William's in the chat. What's going on, man? He says, hi, good vibes. What's going on, Will? Yo, let me get back. Will, after this stream, I'll get back to your message, yeah? We got to talk about linking up here. There's just so many of my incredibly talented content creator friends here in New York City. I just don't have enough time in the day to Gotta connect. We gotta connect. Uh-oh. Here's Morocco, though. They're connected. Uh-oh. Here's Brahim. Took too long. Oh, and there's Koundé. If that ball connected to Talbi, I think that would have. Oi, oi, oi. Good defending from France. Oh, but it's still Morocco. Brahim Diaz. Blocked by Lucas Digne. Here's Morocco showing a bit more fight, showing a bit more character. You love to see it. Definitely have a bit more spring about their step. They can't slow down now, though. They're walking. All 7, 8 players in the frame right now are just walking. Wow, they absolutely slowed down the tempo. That was not the move. They needed to keep that. They needed to keep the hands on. They needed to keep that foot on that gas. Here's Talbi. Oh. Tried to go over the top there, but I believe, who was that? I can't remember if it was Koundé or Upo, whoever that was. He showed strength. Great ball over the top, though. Here's Dictator Mbappe. Oi! Oh, that wasn't Dictator. Sorry. That was Desiree Doué. Sorry. My screen is really small here because I got like 5 windows open. But what a ball. That's a great idea there. Who made that pass to Desiree? Who made that pass to Doué? That's a great idea. Asian Kid says, who do you think will win the World Cup? I would love to see either France or England win the World Cup. Those are my 2 teams. I would love to see them win the World Cup. France or England for me. Oh, it's a great idea. Ooh, I thought Alicia was gonna connect, you know. What's going on, Peter Fury? What's going on, my man? Thank y'all for joining us. Yeah, Frank says Norway. Yo, Norway have been good. Yo, you know what's upsetting? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna tell you what's been upsetting. When Jimmy and I used to do our Benchwarmer show, shouts out to Jimmy and shouts out to the Thick Leg fam. For those of y'all that remember the Benchwarmer show, we used to glaze Erling Haaland when he was at Borussia Dortmund. Because me and Jimmy both said Manchester United need to do whatever they can to spend that money and bring Erling Haaland. We needed to spend that money to bring Erling Haaland to Manchester United back then. Me and Jimmy were huge fans of Erling Haaland, and it broke our hearts to see him go to the blue side of Manchester. But I can't help but admire and like this fella because he is a very likable person and a player, and he's got this very like chill energy about him that I really love. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I think Erling Haaland, like he's such a good, like I love this kid. I think he's such a fantastic player, and I think he's got all the right mentalities to succeed because he's very down to earth. You know what I mean? I don't get how players are allowed to just absolutely push. Anyways, you get the point. You know what I mean? And if Norway does well, then I'll be very happy for my Norwegian friends. Shouts out to Tobias. Yeah. Shouts out to Leon. Shouts out to my Norwegian family. But I promise y'all, nothing would make me happier than seeing England lift the World Cup. Nothing would make me happier than seeing France. Like, those two are my teams. But I wouldn't be mad. I don't really got, you know, an allegiance per se. I just got a soft spot for England and France. That's about it. Yeah, and Frank says, I wanted to hate him for so long, but you just can't. He's a great dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. Once the Premier League season starts again, we're ops, 100%. Allez le bleu. Allez le bleu. Here we go. Corner kick. Ja G in the chat says, love your videos, my guy. Yo, thank you so much for the love, Ja G. Vispo says, Kim Min-jae is mid. Vispo. Infinity Castle for you. Here's Hakimi and Brahim Diaz. Oh my God, I forgot the timer. I'm such a fool. I'm such a fool. I'm such a fool. So I'm just trying to line up my time here. Boom. There we go. HS says, what's your thoughts on the whole fiasco with the Korean Prime Minister crushing the Korean manager? What is happening right now with Korea, as much as it saddens me to see, because this World Cup has been an absolute nightmare to ruin this goal. This is like England's 2006 moment. England 2006, England's golden generation ruined. And England fans, whether they blamed Fabio Capello or whoever they wanted to blame, I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, here's Doué. Nice little ball. Nice idea there from Doué. But Morocco have been very steadfast defensively. And Koundé is very out of possession here. And here's Upa. Has to chase a very fast Talbi. But good defending there. Yeah, so like I said, South Korea have been, it's been extremely sad to see this golden generation gone to complete waste. But with respect to what feels like it's about to be this kind of like reshuffling, this reformation of how the KFA is run, I think it's so important to see. And I think it's so nice to see that this is happening. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're seeing Park Myung-won and Park Ji-sung, my goat, if you see what they're doing, I think these changes need to happen. These changes need to happen. South Korea need a change. The KFA is a clear representation of how corrupt things can get. And that needs to change. I'm keeping it real with y'all. Keeping it real. Oh, Elise there with a bit of a lapse in concentration to Kone, but Kone did very well to recover. Here's Mbappe. Dictator Mbappe. Out to Desiree Doué. Doué goes from distance. Woo! That's a quick release there. Not a bad attempt. Straight into the pocket of the keeper, but still not a bad quick release. Whee! Enough fizz for the keeper to spill it. 0-0 here at the Gillette Stadium. France 0, Morocco 0. And by the way, guys, if you guys are joining us on Instagram or if you guys are joining us through the vertical platforms and you're wondering what happened to the graphics, come join us on YouTube for the full experience. All right, guys? You're going to be able to see the timer. You're going to be able to see all of the stuff on YouTube. Yeah? Brathwaite says, who's playing best? I think France have been the much better strong side overall. Here's Elise. Great idea. Oh, I think that might have been offsides anyway, but still. Morocco have been very, very strong here. Very strong. Great turn from Elise. This guy's he would have been offsides, Kylian Mbappe. Brathwaite says, shouts out from London, UK. I'm gonna join the YouTube. Thank you so much, Brathwaite. Appreciate you checking in from London. I'm gonna be back in London real soon, y'all. We're gonna have a great time in London. Great switch up play there from Dembele. That might have been his best move so far this game. Here's Dictator Mbappe. Dictator Mbappe. Oh, I can't. Is that Mbappe or? No, that is. My screen is so small. Mbappe was on his heels there. Wow, but showing mad strength. He just lickled man Hakimi. Holy crap. He just told Hakimi, get the ball. To Upa. Dembele, Elise, surrounded by a wall of red. Nice little shimmy. Recycles back into Kone. Good turn there from Desiree Doué. Doué, still Doué. Dictator Mbappe. Dictator Mbappe. The cross comes in, but absolutely goes out of bounds. You know what I realized? What I regret is I wish I probably went. I wish I got some water before the start of the second half. You know what? You know what's crazy? That Speed is working with Fox and basically able to stream during these World Cup matches at the World Cup. And I saw him out there in Atlanta, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Seeing Speed do this is it's been crazy. Like, it's been amazing to see. Because look, don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, what's been happening with the World Cup here in the States with respect to Speed's coverage? Like, say what you will, but if we're just purely talking about football, I genuinely think that Speed has done some insane PR work for football here in the country. Like, he's gotten so many young people interested in the game, you know. And when I see a lot of the young bucks here in at least in New York City, a lot of my friends' kids, when I used to coach kids, they're all obsessed with streamers and Instagram followers and whatever. But there'll come a point where maybe they might grow out of it. Maybe they might grow out of watching streamers, or they might run out of time because they're gonna have stuff to do. Do you know what I mean? But once that happens, France a little bit sloppy. Once that happens, at least they'll still have football, because they got into the game. Oh, good defending there from Morocco. France needs to keep themselves. Oh, that's a good idea there. Good idea, Mbappe. Oh! Oh, Dictator Mbappe. Oh, 1-0. France strike first. Dictator Mbappe. Dictator Mbappe. Oh my goodness. Out of nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, it had to be Dictator Mbappe. Let's take a look at the replay here. From huge over the overhead shot. Great idea. Who was that took the touchdown? Was that Elise or Desiree Doué? I couldn't see it. Mbappe with the center back literally in front of him, shifts his body, drops the weight, gets the angle, and finishes it. Oh my days. Dictator Mbappe. What a fantastic finish from Kylian Mbappe. That celebration looks a little bit scary because I feel like it puts a lot of pressure on his knees. But, slow-mo sometimes do make it look like that. Dictator Mbappe strikes first, and it looks like the goal will stand because Mbappe is screaming. This guy is sensational, man. If Ronaldo and Messi's time is up, you know who's coming up? You know who's up next? Dictator Mbappe. Dictator Mbappe and Erling Haaland. I think those two are up next, man. France 0, Morocco won. France 1, Morocco 0. Sorry. Oh no. Mbappe's down? Oh no. I hope Mbappe's not injured. Hey, Justin in the chat says, John, I've seen some old head Americans say that soccer is not a top 4 sport in America, but it's surely more popular than hockey. Maybe not in New York, but the whole country it surely is. That's a good question. I mean, it's not even a question. Oh, another foul there. That's got to be a yellow card there. Yes, and the referee does dish it out. Mbappe down again. Mbappe getting absolutely chopped there from Issa, and Mbappe is down. It looks like he's in some serious pain. Look, I don't know if y'all played football. That hurts. That hurts quite a bit, you know. I hope Mbappe is okay there. But it is a yellow card to Issa. To answer the question about soccer not being a top 4 sport in America, maybe it's sitting in contention for 4th with hockey, perhaps. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, we'll have to do some research and some understanding of, you know, the numbers from a viewership perspective. But just purely from my own personal experience, from what I'm experiencing, at least as a New Yorker, I'll tell you this, without a shadow of a doubt, soccer has always been a massive influence here in America. Maybe not from a viewership perspective, because maybe the MLS isn't just as entertaining, perhaps for whatever reason, but footy, soccer has always been growing. It has always been growing. And I just talked about the MLS as well. The MLS has been growing as well. And you know how I can tell you that the MLS is growing is because it's catching the eyes and the attention of people like myself, getting me involved, excited, wanting to watch the MLS. Do you know what I mean? Like, those are things that are clear indications for me that people even in my generation, as well as the younger generations, are all really learning to invest more time and energy into the soccer, the footy culture here in America. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of friends that love hockey. Don't get me wrong. Like I have so many friends of mine who go watch Islander games or Rangers games or here's Elise. That's got to be another foul. Okay, referee says play on. Kone's got great mobility for such a player. Well, I don't know what Elise was thinking there with that, like, casual. Elise saying Elise apologizing there, but that was way too casual for him to be doing a back heel pass there. But anyways, yeah. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is that footy has always been a part of American culture, whether people agree or disagree. It's just my personal opinion. It has always been there. In local communities, in minority communities, in immigrant communities, at least here in America, in New York, for sure. Here's Dembele! 2-0! France! Allez les Bleus! 2-0 to France. France look to be very, very, very close to knocking out Morocco here. Ladies and gentlemen, Morocco are absolutely finding themselves with a mountain to climb here. Didier Deschamps telling everybody to chill out because we still got a lot of work to do, y'all. Deschamps showing love to Dembele, but he's telling him to go back. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-0. Hakimi there looking devastated. Our old OG Man United, Sofiane Amrabat, also just at a loss for words. What a finish from Dembele. Allez les Bleus indeed. Oh my days. 2-0 here at the Gillette Stadium in Boston, France. Causing pain and heartache to the Moroccans in Boston. "66 minutes and 48 seconds here, but it's going to be a very difficult game for Morocco now. At 1-0, they had a chance. But at 2-0 against France, look, they say that 2-0 is the most dangerous lead you could have. But at this stage in the game, I don't know. I think France might have this one. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But France, oh my days, they might have done it here. Hydration break here in the second half. We'll be right back with these messages. No, I'm just kidding. I need to go get some water. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, hold up. Hold up. Let me get some water. Because I genuinely, I'm out of water. That was my coffee cup, but I'm out of water. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Can you guys let the people know in the chat that I went to go get some water, okay? I'll be back. I'll be back. Sorry, y'all. I got water. And if you're asking me why I got it on a plate, I just got a lot. There was a lot, you know. Here's Morocco. I got me some ginger tea. I got some water, and here's another cool thing that I got. I'm about to show y'all real quick. Wait up for a second. Wait up a second, yeah. I got me some banana pudding. Delicious. Delicious, y'all. Delicious. Banana pudding, sensational. Sensational. What can I do for you, girl? Cross comes in. Oh, whoa! Almost choked on my banana. Upamecano. That's Upamecano 2 seasons ago, chat. Oh my God, what a horrible clearance there from Upamecano. Almost testing his own keeper, Magnan. Salaban, thank you for telling people I was getting water. Appreciate you, Salaban. His corner kick from Morocco. Comes in. Very far and deep. That's out. That's out. That was crazy from Upamecano. I can't believe it. Artie in the chat, what's happening? Coach Artie says, my boy John Hope is well, bro. Also, question, will Morocco capitulate on counters while searching for goals? Thanks. Artie, why are you asking the question so like so well-mannered? Shout out to Artie. If you guys haven't had a chance to do so, go check out the latest video that we dropped with Serie A. Shouts out to the family at Serie A as well. We got to work with Serie A, and Artie was the guest. And we put him to the test for his chance at winning a signed captain's armband from Christian Bubble Vieri. Is that Infantino with a hat on? Oh, the hot tea is hot. I burned my tongue. Roddy in the chat says super random, but congrats on all your accomplishments. Roddy, man, thank you so much for the oh, shoot, sorry, I'm going to run it back. Thank you so much, Roddy. Appreciate you, broski. That's kind words for you, from you. Suswam says, bro, what's your take on United's transfer window, brother? I will talk about it very, very shortly. We actually talked about it at the top of the stream. So if you want to go hear my thoughts on that, you can go rewind it back a little bit. But I promise you, we're going to break all of that down very, very shortly. HS in the chat says this World Cup would do wonders for footy in America, even though U.S. men's national team did poo-poo. The social media effect it already has is crazy. I mean, I talked about this before as well, more specifically with respect to speed. But here's what I think this World Cup is doing for America, and here's what I think this World Cup needs to do for America. What it's doing for America, what this World Cup is doing for America is that it's getting the youth involved and it's building up the interest for the youth. And what that means is that in the next 5 to 10 years, the interest for football here will continue to grow because the younger generation will grow. They'll go to college, they'll graduate, they'll enter the workforce. As they get older, the interest in what we're seeing with respect to the love for the game is definitely growing. That is what we're seeing right now. But what we need to see happen following this World Cup is we need to see better implementation on how the youth can play the game. Watching the game is one thing, but playing the game is different. The way that the game's developed. It costs so much bloody money for families to put their kids into school to play footy. There needs to be more accessible ways for kids to play footy. There has to be. Emmanuel Lima says, we need Doué at United. I will. Oh, here's Mbappe. Dictator Mbappe coming off for. Who was that? I couldn't see it. The camera just did some like crazy like whoop whoop. Doué and Mbappe came off. Oh, for Mateta. Okay. And Barcola. Woo! Look at that depth, man. France in the depth, man. France got depth, man. Mateta with his tucked in shirt. He about to score. He about to score. Landon Donovan did a whole segment on this. Well, John Shin about to do a whole segment on this. Trust me. I'm about to talk about this because that's one thing I'm noticing more and more. Like, it has to be said, and the conversation needs to have the conversations continue to need to happen. Emmanuel says, big fan of the vids. Yo, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. Julian Prominent chat says, what's good? What's popping? What you doing now? I'm doing the stream, dog. Here's France, though. Le Bleu. Cross comes in. Ooh, almost picked out Mateta, but good defending for them from Morocco. Man, I love streaming, y'all. And I'm not talking about like IRL streams, like, you know, speed where I'm like walking around the streets. I don't know if I'll ever do. I mean, maybe I would. I don't know. But I just like streaming with y'all here at home, you know? Roddy says, I have the privilege of playing in the Club America Academy. Oh, that's sick, man. What the hell? That's cool. I don't know why my voice I don't know why I did that, but I'm sorry if I blew out your ears, but that's sick, man. But it was only because your dad was a coach. Otherwise, it was extremely expensive. Man, that needs to be fixed. Like here in New York, you got to pay like $5,000-$6,000 a year, sometimes more, for kids to be put into academies, like simple, smaller academies. And there could be more academies that come up, but there's such little pitches that are available, and every pitch is dominated by the same academies that have, you know, kept using the same permits like they're renewing the same permits year in, year out. And they have the right to do so. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's, you know, maybe they're not allowed to. I have no idea. I haven't done enough research, but my point is that it needs to be more easily accessible. Great football here from France. Oh, corner kick. Gonzalo Kanga says, yes, the reason U.S. soccer never gets better is because of the price. I was talking to my boy Raheem. Shouts out to my boy Raheem. And he made a very good point. And he said that footy needs to hit, because he's an African American, so he says footy needs to hit the African American communities. I think it needs to hit. I think it's already there. I think footy is everywhere, whether it be the African American community or the Asian community or the Latin American community. It's always been there. It's literally the accessibility that's killing the progress of the game. Great cross, Mateta. Oi. Like just when I was out, like recently, I was out with Nike Toma. Shouts out to Toma. Shouts out to Nike Toma. We were out there recently, and let me tell you, they absolutely did incredible with the young players, young ballers around the world. They did incredible because they had a New York finals, and there was the Harlem team was here, Bronx team was here, New York Queens team was here. Like there was young ballers from all boroughs. And that's not, it wasn't just even a New York thing, because they eventually had the national finals, and like the top teams from every city pulled up. LA, New York, like Miami, Atlanta, like everybody was here and they balled out. It was so dope to see. Like there's so many there's so many young ballers out there in America that just need accessibility. It's so insane how expensive it is to have kids play footy here. Roddy says, bro, it's like $10K to even travel. And if you want to even play on an empty pitch at a park, they kick you out because the field is quote unquote reserved for a club. Exactly. Even playing pickup games is expensive. Exactly. That's my point precisely, Roddy. 100%. Like, I hope that the country understands that for the country to grow from a football perspective, they need to be able to make the game more accessible. Make more footy pitches. It doesn't have to be 11-a-side huge pitches. Make 5-a-side pitches. Even if it's concrete hardtop, build cages around it. Build those little nets under the basketball hoops. Do something. Make football more accessible for the kids. Hakimi with the cross. Woo! Freddie Martinez says that tournament was fire. Footies everywhere in every neighborhood. Is just being able to play for a fee all the time. That's hurting the sport. Exactly. Gonzalo says TST is a great thing. TST was awesome too. That was not a foul on Hakimi. No way. No way. But here is a free kick for Hakimi from Morocco. Lays it off. Oh, good shot. A strong strike there. Wow. Maignan forced the parry away. But let me tell you, that was actually great goalkeeping there from Maignan. He actually saw that ball pop out of the wall quite late into the trajectory, so he needed to react quickly. Great goalkeeping there from Maignan. Great goalkeeping. Corner kick for Morocco. Late into the second half here. H just says, I've seen comparisons online why college soccer isn't as good as college football or basketball and how we need to improve. I don't think they know how soccer works because college soccer is a lot of things need to be looked at or visited. Corner. Oh, not a bad attempt that. Victor Hugo says hi. What's going on, Victor? Lots of bend. That was close for Morocco. Another change here from Morocco. Talbi comes off. And Sbai goes on. Vitor says, I'm from Brazil. What's going on, Vitor? How do you say hi again in Portuguese? Obrigado? Obrigado. France kind of right now playing this like 4-4-2-ish almost. Here's Morocco. Cross comes in. Easy light work for Maignan. Collects. I wonder if Manchester United. This is Barcola. Ahead of him is Mateta. Dembele asking for it as well. Good idea. Nice little Olise. Whoa. Olise could have done way better there knowing his quality there. Great. What a Dembele with that layoff, man. What a layoff. That's y'all think that's easy to execute? Absolutely not. Jacob Kuchiev in the chat says, hi, John. How are you? I'm good. How, Jacob? H says, end of an era this World Cup too, with Neymar and Ronaldo having the last. Here comes Koundé coming off. Who came on? I couldn't see it. Gusto. Sorry, I'm all over the place. HS, yeah. So I've been saying that this World Cup was like a swan song almost. People were saying that it is a swan song. You know, a lot of OGs. This was quote unquote perhaps their last World Cup. You know, Sonny hasn't ruled it out completely, but it potentially could be. Here's Olise. Here's Dembele. Just couldn't lay it off to Mateta. That would have been a great opportunity. But here's Morocco. Sorry. So like I was saying before, look, at the end of the day, as much as it is incredible to see all of the OGs get a last run at it, it was sad. Here's France though. Oh, Barcola is screwed. I'm going for it on my own. It was sad. You know, you're looking at your James Rodriguez, your Ronaldo. Who knows? Maybe this might be Messi's last World Cup. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? Oh, actually, sorry. We know this is Messi's last World Cup. So we got Messi, Ronaldo, both last World Cups. You got, Mbappe's got ice on his ankle. Oh no. Kylian Mbappe. Oh no, he's got ice on that ankle. Yikes, that's not good. Everybody else is laughing except him. Oh, I think Mateta does get his head on it, but just couldn't get it down. Yeah, he does get his head on it. But yeah, like I said, y'all, I just genuinely think that there's this like bittersweet feeling about it. You know what I mean? ELSSL says, hey, I love the Serie A video. Yo, appreciate you, yo. Thank you for that. Shouts out to Serie A. And shouts out to my to the Immaculate Collective that enjoyed it. Appreciate you. Victor, thank you so much for the love, broski. Appreciate you. D. Mular says, PSG looking for mega money for Barcola. I would not spend, I wouldn't move for a player like Barcola right now, especially because I know he wants to try and break into this PSG side. And PSG are not going to let him go on as cheap for sure. Almost reaching the 90 minutes of regulation time here at Gillette Stadium. France 2, Morocco 2, Morocco 0. Sorry. This has been all France. This has been all France. Let's be real. Here's I thought something was gonna materialize there for Morocco, but nothing quite doing there. I don't know what the hell Saliba was doing, bro. Bro reached out his arms like he's trying to like set up this wall. It's hilarious. Look at the French. The flags are out. The Arles are le bleuen. Kylian's on the bench. Ice in his ankles. I don't know why I'm like doing this cadence like I'm trying to like rhyme. Clearly they're not the words are not rhyming at all. Oluwa Timile Hinog says, hey man, what's up? Really miss your life. Thank you for that, man. I miss you guys. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Jeez. Here's Barcola. Lays it off to Dembele. Dembele. Ooh. If you think about it, though, that Chelsea squad, like they do have some international players. EL says, by the way, Manu Kone had a great game. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Would United fans want to sign him up? Weren't we linked with him? I feel like we were. I feel like we should call up. I feel like we should call up for Roma real quick. Here's Morocco. Nice little footwork here for Morocco. Good defending for France, but Morocco staying resilient here. Testing. Oof. JB Kim in the chat just writes Park Ji-sung. Facts. That's what I'm talking about. Park Ji-sung. Yeah, 100%. Adam Official says we should sign Rafael Leao. I don't know. I'm not too entirely convinced on Rafael Leao. Good defending there from France. But Morocco keep asking the questions here. France, can they close out this game with that clean sheet? France's defense has been stalwart. It's been very, very good. And they've been very composed. You can see the quality. You can see the comfortness. You can see the comfortable sort of like composed coolness about France, especially on the defensive side of things. With the greatest respect to Morocco, they don't really look all that too troubled. It doesn't even feel like they've gotten out of third gear. France will play either Spain or Belgium in Dallas. That might be crazy. Here we go. Here we go. France, can they get a third? To see slam. Oh my God, Mateta. Don't get me wrong. I think Mateta's good, like a good finisher, but I just don't think he fits the France setup. Did they really not have another number 9 they could have taken? That's a handball. That's a handball. Bro literally used his arm to bring the ball down. That's crazy. Adam Official says, will France win the World Cup? I think it'll be France-England final, you know. That would be crazy if it's a France-England final. Yeah, that would be absolute nuts. I don't even know if the brackets can fill like that. I don't even know, but if it does happen like that, geez, that would be nuts. Nice work here. Here's France. Allez les bleus. Here's Dembele. He's got Olise. Here's Mateta. Mateta. Oh my goodness, that finish was atrocious, but he doesn't test the keeper. I don't even think the keeper expected that. Argentina's being investigated. What? Really? That's crazy. France-Argentina final once again, bro? No, I don't think it'll be Argentina in the final. I don't think Argentina's going to go to the final. Oi. Olise, oi. I don't know what that was. He dribbled it out. 94 minutes of the 6 minutes of stoppage time left here at Gillette Stadium. France 2, Morocco 0 in the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup 2026. Very ESPN voice. Woo! Morocco tried it. Yo. The homie that tried it, his haircut is sick. His trim is sick. It had to be Doué that gave Mbappe that assist too. Yo, let me ask you all a question, especially if you guys have played footy, right? What do y'all think about it? What do y'all think about when you score a goal, right? And you go run to celebrate, and then your teammate jumps on your back, and they make you carry them? What are y'all's thoughts on that? I'm very curious. Let me know. Victor says, your hair is cool. My hair is cool. Thank you, man. I'm running out of hair. Every day in my shower, I look at the damage, and it's scary. But for as long as I have it, I'm happy. Thank you. EL says, crazy prediction: France versus Switzerland final. Whoa, Switzerland final. Damn, that would be crazy too. 30 seconds left of this quarterfinal in Boston. It looks like it will be France. But it ain't over till it's over. EL says, L says, I'll probably going to make him jump down because I don't like that. I don't like that either. That's what I'm asking you. Okay. Here's France. Olise. Oh, Barcolo's like, that's it. Full time. France 2, Morocco 0. Kylian Mbappe taking off his boot and wincing in pain. I hope he's okay. Dictator Mbappe. I hope he's okay. But that is it. It is Allez les Bleus at the Gillette Stadium. And Mbappe, one of the goal scorers for today's game, showing love to Didier Deschamps. Semifinals, the first team to make it, France. They will play the winner between Spain and Belgium. And commiserations, of course, to Morocco. They have once again had a great tournament. Don't let none of this get to y'all. Morocco had a great tournament. Polo Sim says, okay, you're right. I think it'll be France, England in the final. Yeah, look, France, England in the final. Trust. There's Hakimi there. Your face is Japanese? No, this face is Korean. Well, that was it. I don't really think there was all that. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I thought this game would have been a much more tightly contested game, but with the greatest respect to Morocco, I think France just completely bossed it. Looking fresh as hell in their Jacques Mus collab kit. Freaking sick. And the French are waving the flag as the wind carries the red, white, and blue of France in the red, white, and blue of Boston, America. I was about to say Boston, New York. Boston, America. The Moroccan fans, the sad, but it's okay. I think they've had a great tournament. Shouts out to the Moroccan fans out there. What's the phrase again? Dima Maghreb? ELSXL says, I think France wins the final price. That finals ticket price is going to be crazy. How crazy would it be if it was Norway-France final? Norway, Mbappe, Holland final. That would be the story. That would be the storyline. Saliban says, Barcola is good, but he needs to work on his finishing. I think Barcola is still young. If you look at his discipline, I think he's still got that like young energy of like this hungry youngster that really just isn't quite refined in terms of his game just yet. I think there's still more raw elements to that game. Somebody needs to get me that freaking Nike France, the Jacques Mus kit, because that Jacques Mus kit is absolutely sensational. Saliban says, should have been like 4-0. Yeah, honestly, it should have been. Respectfully to Belgium, to Morocco, of course. Saliban says Spain look underwhelming. Belgium might go through. I don't know, man. I think Spain still might do it. Saliban says match was okay, not great. Yeah. Honestly, for me, I had a good time. The game was the game, but I had a good time coming up here, jumping and chatting on with y'all. Live streams, they're coming back thick and strong. Yeah, HS in the chat says, great stream again, John. See you later. Thank you, HS. Appreciate you, my broski. And for my fam that's in the time zone with England and all of the European and the African nations, I promise y'all, my streams are going to be much more accessible to y'all. Y'all don't have to be checking into my streams at 10, 11, 12 a.m. in the morning, because I'm going to be doing streams way earlier, because now I'm a full-time creator. Big it up. Oops. I got to work on my soundboard again. I'm also going to be doing like card pack breaking. I've been very interested in doing a lot of Pokemon cards, because my cousin has been pretty into it, and my girlfriend loves seeing the cute Pokemon cards. So I'm going to be opening more packs on stream. It's going to be fun, man. We're going to have a lot of fun time. Hakimi there, sending a message to his fellow Moroccan teammates and his staff. They should be very proud of themselves. They had another fantastic World Cup tournament. I hope what Hakimi is saying in that huddle right now is to let each other know that they should be very proud of the run that they've had. And if they want to make more of this magic, they need to keep themselves in tip-top shape and to continue to work for the next 4 years, for the next World Cup. That might be what Hakimi is saying, because I believe the next World Cup, a part of it is being held in Morocco, if I'm not mistaken. EL SSL says, I think if Wesley wouldn't injure himself, Brazil was going to be in the World Cup. I actually think this might be a hot take. But I think maybe, perhaps, they should have taken Joao Pedro. Just saying. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts, because in that game against Norway, they needed a Joao Pedro to come on, but they had Neymar. You know what I mean? But that's it for me for today, guys. I know the stream was a little bit late, but I hope you guys still at least had a good time, because I certainly had a fantastic time. I had so much fun chatting with y'all. It was a great time. I love streaming. I love chatting with you guys. The community is what it's all about. I'm going to be coming back to y'all with so much amazing, fun projects. And my real journey as a full-time content creator, it's already begun, but I think it really begins after the World Cup, because the magic will fade a little bit. And it's going to be up to me to deliver the entertainment that you guys deserve. So I will be back with more streams, more fun content, more of that amazing fun stuff, because now I'll be a full-time creator, you know? It's been exciting. I can't wait to share with you all of the stories and all of what I've been experiencing so far during this amazing World Cup. It has been nothing short of fantastic for me. So thank you guys so much. I'll be back. Yeah? Thank you guys as always. Make sure you guys drop a like, leave a comment, and of course, share the videos. All of that good stuff helps with the algorithm, only if you feel like you've enjoyed it. Yeah? Thank you guys so much. Be happy, be healthy, take care of all your loved ones, and until next time, I'll see y'all's laters. Peace!